What's up, guys? Here's the intro video to my new channel, XSTripleRider. My other channel is BrickBox8398, but this one is dedicated to moto vlogging, anything bike related. This is my first bike, 78 Yamaha 750. It's the standard model, sport model actually. Preferred this setup just because the seating position, you know, it's like an original sport bike. So I bought the bike in Watertown, Mass. It seemed pretty good when I first looked at it. Started right up. I didn't take it for a ride because at that point I had just got my learner's permit and didn't want to crash someone else's bike. This is actually my second bike, and I've only had my learner's permit for 2 months probably. And first bike was a 79 Suzuki GS 750. Turns out didn't have the title for it, and I didn't think that would be an issue at first, but I bought the bike from a guy I knew, and I ended up just giving it back to him, doing a clean swap, because I didn't want to deal with that bullshit, and I needed a bike now, you know, for the summer. So I ended up getting this thing. Like I said, it seemed okay. Started right up. I bought it for $1,200 right there without riding it. That's probably my first mistake. So I bought the bike, got it home, went to take it for a ride, and didn't have second gear, first of all. And second of all, the clutch felt like it was completely gone. You know, you'd hammer down in second and it would just rev up. So that was a, you know, ball buster. And turns out the guy over tightened, or he turned that screw out. So that was actually doing the opposite of what he thought, and wasn't buying him more clutch life. It was actually making the clutch worse, slipping the clutch. So I don't know how long he had been riding it like that. He claimed he rode it all over, took it on a trip to Vermont. I don't know. So I did that, bike rode fine, clutch was good enough. I was happy with that. Second gear, turns out on these bikes, is a common problem when they get old. They don't like to stay in second. Sometimes it gets jammed between gears when you try to go into second, and it's just sketchy. So pretty much you smash right through second into third and you're good. What else we got? So like I said, it's my first bike. Probably not the best choice for a first bike, just because it's a friggin' 78. It's old. It's got its issues. Last thing you want as a new learner, a new rider, is a bike that doesn't ride correctly. Brakes are alright. One of these calipers doesn't seem to be working well. The left one is warm, and the one on the right is just barely warm. So I don't know. Brakes do work. First thing I did when I got the bike is I bought exhaust. This was on eBay. He claimed it was a Kirker exhaust, but clearly it is not. Doesn't say Kirker anywhere, and it actually resembles a Mac 3-to-1 exhaust system after doing research, and some kind of custom baffle. You can see it's welded, pretty messy, but you know, sounds good. I painted it, looked like shit before, so it's alright, you know. First thing you gotta do is do exhaust, you know. Just can't stand a quiet bike, or any quiet motor for that matter. The other thing, this bike, the other issue is it does burn some oil. when I got the bike, I checked the oil, changed it, and it was like probably a quart low out of 3.5 quarts. So that was pretty fucked up. And luckily nothing went wrong, so I just changed the oil, which was pretty clean anyway. That was alright. You know, the other problem is there's some valve noise. I believe that's what it is. I tried to tighten the timing chain, didn't fix it, so pretty much above $3,000, it's just a really alarming clacking sound, just like sounds like a piece of metal flying around inside the engine. But it's pretty much the valves need to be shimmed. There's slop between the valves, so when I get around to it, I'll do that. Probably not the best idea, but I just try to ride her easy for now, because I don't want to be out of a bike my first summer owning one. Again, that's probably another reason why I shouldn't have bought this, because it does need some work. But it's alright. It's a classic, gets a lot of looks, and I really like owning something unique like this. 3-cylinder, never see those anymore, and it has a great sound to it, just unique. So, other thing I did, I took the front fender off. Looked like shit, so I painted it silver, but I'm kind of going for a cafe racer look, so I took it off just to, it looks cooler without it, and I don't really give a shit. Sand, rain, whatever, who cares? You got a big 3-cylinder wall in front of you to block anything from getting up in your face, so it's really not too bad riding without a front fender. Let's see, I changed the seat on this. The original one was ripped and not very comfortable. The guy actually gave me this other seat. Not in bad condition. It's cracked if you look close enough, but it's alright. The only other problem is lost rigidity over the years. So, you win some, you lose some. It's a better seat, but this thing's flopping around like a piece of shit while I'm riding. So, whatever. Like I said, it's kind of a project, but I'm just riding it the way it is right now. I've already put 1,100 miles on it without a problem. Did a quick highway trip. Those are kind of sketchy just because you're holding the engine at like $4,000, and with that valve slop, sometimes it doesn't sound great, but you just let off the throttle and it's alright. So, the other thing is, I don't know if the kickstand is bent on this thing or what, but this thing leans over too much, in my opinion. I'm parked on a hill right now. Usually I bring a piece of wood to put under the friggin' thing to, angle it up a little more, just because it's weird the way it leans over excessively. I don't know. I mean, it does have a Kickstarter on the other side, so maybe it's just bent from years of kickstarting it, throwing your weight down on the bike. Bent the kickstand. That's my theory. So, it does leak a little oil too. I replaced the oil filter housing O-ring. That was pretty flat, so that fixed most of the oil leak. I don't know where else it's leaking. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's probably partly my fault because I put synthetic oil in it, and the myth that you shouldn't put synthetic in an engine that hasn't run synthetic its whole life, that you cause oil leaks. And turns out I think I did cause an oil leak. Kind of another sketchy thing about a first bike that leaks oil. It used to be worse and leak oil. You could see a spray pattern on the rear tire. Not anymore, obviously, but before I did the O-ring, it sprayed on the rear tire a little bit. Never had an issue, but sketchy nonetheless. The bike has 43,000 miles. Not too bad. But like I said, it's just like, I guess these Yamahas, they have their issues once they get up there in age. And I wish that Suzuki worked out for me, because that thing rode great. It rode perfect. Had all the gears. Engine sounded great. It actually had Kirker exhaust and Magnum rear shocks on it, which was, vintage modifications, and it was clean, but no title, so not screwing with that. Speaking of shocks, these are from my friend's 94 Vulcan 750, and I just swapped them on because I thought they would be, I could have sworn it would have dropped the bike, and turns out they're the exact same height as the originals, but it's still an upgrade. They are air shocks, so you can put air in them, adjust them. The old ones were definitely shot. This thing rode like a Cadillac, and now it does ride a lot better, but I'd prefer it to be lower just because I'm a short guy, and I'm used to the weight now, but when I first got the bike, it was a little sketchy at times. It was kind of too big for me, but I grew into it pretty quick. The other thing, speaking of shocks, is the front fork seals are leaky, at least on the right side. It's really not that bad, but something to do. That's on my list for the winter modifications and whatever I'm going to do to this bike. So, fork seals, probably dig into the engine, valve shimming, clutch, I think, and who knows what else. Depends what I got for money lying around. For now, though, it's a great bike. Oh yeah, here's my key port. Got all my keys, bottle opener, car key. This thing's really awesome. I just unhook it from my other ring, and then you don't have anything flopping around on the bike while you're riding. It's pretty neat. Yeah, the other thing is the oil light doesn't come on, ironically. I don't know if there's some bad ground or the guy unhooked something, but it would be nice to have an oil light working, because the thing burns oil. You never know when it's gonna just dump out the oil or whatever. If I'm not keeping track of it, I'm pretty good at keeping track of how much oil it uses and keeping it topped off. But either way, another thing on the to-do list. What else? Let's see, maybe I'll start it up for you guys. Starts right up. Yeah, the other thing the previous owner did was put in these manual petcocks. One of those other things that goes bad on older bikes, vacuum petcock. But anyway, that's what it sounds like. I think it sounds pretty good for what it is, Oop, left my lights on. Either way. Yeah, the other thing is, yes, it does have a kickstart. I've used it, I've started it before with it when the engine was warm, keep in mind. But I was leaving work one day early, and of course I left the keys on, killed the battery, and I was like, oh, great, I have a kickstart. Awesome. Most bikes don't have that, so this is great. I'm not shit out of luck. So kickstart, nothing. Not a single fire from it. Of course, of all days, the time I was trying to get out of work early, didn't start. So, hook it up to one of the work vans, jump start it. One push of the button, starts right up. That was fucking annoying. So I don't know what it is. Some spark issue using the Kickstarter. It's not getting enough spark. I don't know. But whatever. Always got to turn these off. Don't want gas in the oil. Last thing I want. So, enough about the bike. Now, about me. Here's my face. I don't like showing it too often, but here it is. My name's Brian. From the South Shore area of Boston. Pretty much all my riding that you'll see is the Boston area, Cape trips. What else? Blue Hills, that's in Canton. That's a nice place to go, just for a quick rip. You know, it's not that big of an area, but some good roads there. Like I said, some trips going to Boston. You know, whatever I feel like doing, whatever I feel like my bike can do. Pretty much. Still have to make some videos on my friends' bikes because we got quite a variety now. I know a lot of people that are getting bikes lately this summer, so got plenty of video on that. You'll see that in future videos, but for now, that's pretty much everything. Like I said, this is my first motovlog channel, my first bike, my first vlogging channel, kind of, in general. I didn't really do that on my old channel, Brickbox 8398. That was pretty much all about my Chevy Caprice. That's how it started out, and then my Volvo S70. But if you want to check out that kind of content, car related stuff, go to that channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and hope you enjoy my videos. Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and favorite whatever you want to do, but for now, that's it. Take care.